Hi guys, it's Dana with Empower RV and Brenda with Queen Bee RV. We are at beautiful Lake Texoma, kind of halfway between Oklahoma and Texas, our home states. And we are in a gorgeous location for a wonderful video.
Exactly, and we got so much excellent feedback from our first, we call it the director's chairs, interviews where we interviewed each other about why and how we got into the education space and becoming inspectors and technicians. We got such great feedback, we thought we would do a part 2 of that. And this time we're going to talk about what attracted us to RVing in general and specifically solo RVing. And also we get tons of questions from you guys about things like what do you teach at your courses? What's the content? Why we teach it? How can we get you to our area? What's required to have a 52U event? So that's what we're going to cover today. And I got to tell you, there's so many questions and things that we want to share with you. We're using our cheat sheets, so bear with us with our iPads here. So Dana, I'll start with you. Actually, I want to start with myself. I'm going to tell you what got me into RVing. We RV'd as a family when I was a little kid, and I just have such great memories of that. And then I thought we were going to be a couples camping kind of couple, the mister and I, and he decided he didn't like it. So that's how I got into solo RVing. I absolutely love the prepping, the packing, the unpacking when we get to the campsite. It all feels so literally empowering to me to do all of that myself. I was learning a new skill at an older age. I thought that felt awesome. I love how magical the campground feels to me. There's just something about it. The people are so warm, men and women. I've met amazing people from all over the country. And I like the sunsets and the campfires and the waking up in the morning and having coffee with nature. I really don't drink coffee, maybe tea or something like that. But getting an RV really changes everything.
It does.
It's a fabulous experience for me. So why do you love RVing?
So we got into RVing as a family. I camped with my family growing up, and then my husband and I, for our 20th wedding anniversary, bought our first fifth wheel for our family. We've traveled all over the country. We're somewhere between 50 and 60,000 miles, I believe, at this point.
Oh my gosh.
So, and then we've since downsized and had a couple of different travel trailers, but I got into this solo part of it because my husband works full time. It allows me to get on the road and go visit and be a part of some of the events around the country with like-minded women working together at different parts of the country and enjoying each other's company. I have a daughter that I love to do girls trips with. We try to plan something every summer, and it's just the freedom of being able to go and do and not have reservations at hotels or restaurants and things. You just have your life with you. So you just travel with your house, and I just love it.
I love that word, freedom. That is what it's about. It just feels so independent. Okay, so Dana, who does this sound like? I'm so tired of being taken advantage of when I go to the repair shop or the dealership by myself. Have you heard that one before?
Yep.
Okay. We have an RV and I'd like to take it out by myself sometime and I just don't know where to start. Or I want to get an RV and I don't know the first step to take. Or I just got my RV and I do not think that the demonstration that they gave me at the dealership was very good and I am super nervous about taking it out. Or we have women say, I've been RVing by myself for a while and I'd like to learn more about maintenance and troubleshooting so I don't have to waste time taking it to the repair shop. Or this, we hear this a lot, towing is my biggest fear, especially by myself. So who do those people sound like?
Every last woman who has ever attended any of our events.
Exactly.
There's always one of them that has one, two, or all of those same scenarios, and they want to understand how to operate their rigs. They want to be able to travel by themselves and not be fearful of the road in front of them. We have women that find themselves in a new part of life, maybe suddenly single, and traveled together with a spouse prior, and now they're learning all the parts that the spouse used to do that they didn't have to know, when they traveled.
That happened to me.
We have a lot of that, and
I wasn't single though. I just had to learn all the parts that Mr. Puckett knew.
So I think that sounds like every woman who has attended any of our events, and all the women that we encounter asking us about our events.
Yeah,
that's the classic theme.
I agree. It's a broad umbrella there, believe it or not. So you just visualize yourself as one of them. So what does 52U mean? How did that come about, that name? And then what happens at one of those workshops, one of our workshops?
So 52U is actually a very new coined name that was given to us by a fellow female camper at a women's event. She came up with it, thought it sounded awesome to stand for 52 University, 52U. So we loved it and decided that sounded like what we teach and
What's
adopted
the 52
it.
mean?
But 52 actually started last year as kind of a challenge among ourselves to produce more content. And it's 52 Ways to Empower Women RVers is our YouTube series. And we post one video a week. We're halfway through the series for 2022. Yay.
We're pretty proud of ourselves.
Pretty proud. So we have some content already scheduled for next year to continue the series. Maybe with a little bit of format and change.
Could you try
But
again?
Oh my goodness.
that's okay. But yep, so it started as a video series and has evolved into an education course.
I love
so,
it.
Yeah.
I love it. Tell me, what are the typical, like, what is it? What is the workshop? Is it maintenance? Is it repairs? What are you learning?
Okay, so 52U is a little bit of everything. It's actually a women's RV core curriculum course is what we've decided to model it after. And we have so far 9 different topics that we cover, and we're building on those. We started with 5 or 6, and we've added 3 more, and we have more, more ideas for new ones to come. Because you and I are always learning.
Right.
You work at NRVTA, and I just completed my certification tech courses, and there's always new information coming from the RV industry.
Right. It's just evolving all the
It's
time.
always evolving.
So we have to evolve.
We have to evolve with it. So right now, we offer courses on towing, hitching, and weight management, and that's the RV weight management, not personal. We have life safety courses, which I think is our most popular course at this point. Weight analysis, and that is involved in the actual weight of the RV itself, the tow vehicle, the tongue weight, things like that. And that's one of our new offerings. So if you've attended an event in the past, this is yet another reason to be an alumni who returns to another event. We offer both AC and DC electrical training and what components are run off of which electrical systems in our campers. We have water systems, so both the systems in the camper, how all that operates and works. We talk about appliances, basic maintenance, small repairs on appliances that you can do yourself.
Appliances is something new too, because we
That is
really
new.
haven't gotten to do a deep dive.
That's true.
on
And a
all
lot of it
those.
is what the hostesses have wanted to pick and choose. But as we are doing our own events, we'll be sure to offer what's requested. We have solar and boondocking, which is another new topic for us. We teach about propane because obviously that's one of the most fearful things that the women are wanting to learn about. And then one of our new topics is what can go wrong and how to make it right.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
We're real excited to develop that. We have a list this long of all the things that could go wrong, and it'll probably keep growing. And then some tidbits and tips about how to make it right.
Right.
So who could benefit from coming to one of our events? So we kind of tapped into that, what women's fears are, what they usually tell us. But it's basically women who want to gain confidence, feel secure and safe about the operation of their RV, using their RV, and the people that want assurance that they're getting the information from a trusted source. I think that's probably the biggest concern. Whenever I first got into RVing, I was like, there are so many YouTube channels and podcasters and whatnot out there. I just didn't know who I could trust because sometimes there's conflicting information out there. So just knowing that Dana and I were trained at the National RV Training Academy, I think helps lend itself to that level of trust. So that's who could benefit from coming. So tell me, as far as where do these events take place?
So far we have, we've hosted several events. We have several on the books. We have several in the planning stages. And just to name a few of the states that we have and or will be, we are talking in Oregon, Washington State, California, Colorado, Arizona, Florida, New Jersey, Texas, and the list continues to grow. So we are actually all over the country. We will come to you. And
what is the format whenever the workshop or the class happens? Like, how many days?
Okay, so
what goes on?
The dates depend on the event we're hosting. They can be 1, 2, 3, or 4 day events. We're obviously open to shorter, longer events depending on what the needs are. We have a great blend of classroom time, PowerPoint presentations, visual props, handouts, hands-on, which is my favorite part, hands-on learning after they've had a full day of classes, and we go and we actually put our hands on their campers and their rigs.
The field trip.
The field trip, practical application. We have checklists, and then we have demonstrations that we do within the class as well. So it's a little bit of everything. It hits all of those different learning styles, which as a former teacher I think is super important. So if you're a visual learner, or if you're a written learner, if you do better taking notes, if you do better having notes handed to you, and then everybody puts their hands on their own campers.
Right.
So yeah.
So hopefully that gives you an overview of it. And if, I want to talk now about what's going to happen next for us and how you could get involved. So first of all, if you are an alum, you heard Dana say earlier that we're building on those classes. Come back and you will get new material every single time. A, and B, Dana and I have sat through some of the classes at NRVTA multiple times. You just cannot absorb all of that at once. So it would not hurt you to come and repeat those classes and maybe bring a friend. So feel free to refer your friends. If you heard somebody that we described earlier that you want to refer, go to our social media platforms. We are on both Facebook and on YouTube at 52 Ways and Counting. And we'll be out there talking about our video drops and then the locations that we're going to next, how you can register for one of our events, and also if you would like 52U to come to you, just let us know. We're getting lots of phone calls, emails, text messages once people are seeing our videos out on YouTube and saying, are you coming to a place near me? And we can get something set up with you.
Absolutely.
So 52 Ways and Counting, go take a look out there. We even have a little private group for our alums out there as well. So once you come to our classes, that Facebook group is fun. People are out there talking about their triumphs and their concerns and questions and just sharing information.
And we are on that one as personal, we can make lots of comments and connections there as well.
Exactly. So exactly. We're there too, and answering those questions and just helping everybody out. We just want this to be an ongoing community that continues to grow. So that was fun, wasn't it?
It was.
All right. I hope that was helpful for you guys. And if you'll just look for us on those social media platforms, we'll see you next time in another episode of 52 Ways to Empower Women RVers.